Hello everyone, so today I'm inspired by CruzznwithCrystal YouTube channel. She showed how to make vellum paper with baby oil, and then I thought, well, I'm going to test out some other products in my craft room or around the house with toiletries. I'm using some cotton pads. You can use cotton balls, and my printer paper is actually very good quality, and I think that might be a drawback as I was experimenting with these products. So if you have thinner paper, I highly recommend grabbing that because it will absorb the oils so much better. So I started off with Vaseline because of course I had to try out what I had on hand. I don't have straight up baby oil by Johnson & Johnson, so I'll share with you the products that I do. And so I started with Vaseline and I found that it smoothly went on. However, my paper was so thick it didn't absorb as greatly as I wish it had. So now I'm baby oil gel by Johnson & Johnson. And just be careful when you're applying it to the paper that you're working not too quickly, because if you grab the paper, it will leave obviously crumples and then it doesn't look very nice. So I found the best technique was to actually start off in a circular motion and then going back and using a back and forth technique if you want. Baby oil gel didn't penetrate my paper. As you can see, it's quite blotchy. So I thought I'll flip the page and work on the opposite side. So I'm working the product into it. It did absorb a little bit better, as you can see. However, I'm not completely satisfied with the way it's turned out. So I will continue experimenting with the other toiletries that I have here on my desk. So I'm not 100% sure, but it is coming through, and maybe if the paper wasn't as thick, it would work better. But it's much better than the Vaseline. So this is the Vaseline page. This is the Johnson & Johnson baby oil gel, and you can see my hand through it. Let's try another product. This is Argan Oil. It is from the dollar store, so I didn't pay a lot of money for it. You can definitely get a hold of some really expensive argan oil. This is not an expensive line at all. I'm going to begin with the circular motions on my page just so I don't crumple my paper and see how this works. Okay, I am really happy with this product. As you can see my hand on the other side, I'm just gonna remove some of the excess argan oil that I have on here. You can see my fingerprints like coming right through. The page is not greasy at all like the oils and the Vaseline have been. I'll let them dry and then I'll go back and show you what the end results were, because I'm thinking that they'll take a little bit of time to dry. So I have tanning oil, and please don't think that I use this to go outside and tan. I actually just really enjoy the smell of tanning oil, especially is a Hawaiian Tropics. It smells so good. I don't know if anyone else is with me, but Scarlett even came into my craft room and she was saying, "Oh, it smells so good, Mom. What did you use in here?" So it's my Hawaiian Tropics. I absolutely love this oil, and I thought, hey, why not try to use it in this Vellum DIY and see how it works. But I'm afraid that it might be too greasy. We'll see how it dries. I'm upset I crumpled the paper, but you can see my hand through it. So if I press my fingers up against it, you do see, but it is a bit greasy and I'm afraid it might stay that way. All right, moving on to the next one, which this is called a protective baby oil. It is similar to a baby oil that you would just buy by any other regular company. However, it is made by a company here in Canada, in Quebec. They have a lovely line of laundry detergents, a lot of organic based stuff. This is their baby line, and I just really like that it's in a little spray bottle, because it's just easy to spray onto a cotton swab or a little what are those little, I guess like a Q-tip and stuff. So I worked it in with circular motions, and I can see that it saturates the paper. The paper is saturating the product very well, so I would assume that this is what happens with standard baby oil versus the baby oil gel that I use by Johnson & Johnson, which I find interesting, because if the paper works kind of like our skin, what does that say about the baby gel versus the baby oil? So as you can see, it's really working its way into the page really well. And this is the product here. It's made by Drudy, Quebec line, and they have some really lovely products. I just really love their stuff. As you can see, it's worked really well into the paper. I'm really happy with it. I'm going to kind of let this stuff sit to the side and dry quickly. I'm going to just share with you here. This is a Vaseline page. I crumpled the page. Thankfully, it didn't work anyways. Otherwise, I'd be upset. But that one is a big no. Not really loving the way this one turned out. Let me turn down the lighting. It's quite blotchy, you can see. So maybe if I did another take on it. What I'm going to do is let this sit and see if it absorbs a little bit more or dries in the meantime. But I might take another application of the baby gel oil and just and salvage that piece of paper. So this one here is quite greasy and oily, so you're probably going to guess which one this one is. It's the Hawaiian Tropics. It smells delightful, but it's quite greasy. So again, I'm going to let these sit for a little while and see if the paper absorbs the ingredients. This one is the Protective Baby Oil, so just baby oil, and I think it's really great. And I have to say that this one is my favorite. I just love it. It's not oily. It doesn't feel wet to the touch. You can see right through it. This is the Argan Oil. Really love the way this turned out. Okay, so while those pages are drying, I thought I would play around with my favorite so far oil, and that's the Argan Oil. And I thought this wasn't the reason why I was playing around with the white paper, was because I had this in mind. I want to make vellum paper out of regular scrapbook paper. So this is just a small scrapbook paper, not a 12 by 12. I think these are called 4 by 4s, or are they 6 by 6s? I forget. But just the smaller pages, and I really wanted to be able to make beautiful vellum with designs. So the reason why I was experimenting quite a bit with all the other paper and all the ingredients were, this was what I had in mind. So I am so happy. I let this dry, and then I'll share with you how you can actually see right through it. And my favorite, to be honest with you, was the Argan Oil. So that's what I'm going to stick to. It's not an expensive product at all that I bought at the dollar store, and I just love the way it's giving my paper a beautiful finish. It's dry, it's just beautiful. So anyways, going back now to all the dry material. As you can see, I let this sit for a while, and the baby oil gel, it's just not what I was expecting it to do. It seems to kind of sit on the surface. You learned that the Vaseline one was a big no. There's just nothing pretty about that. The baby protective oil is fine. I think that here, I'll share with you in the light. It's a little bit better. It did really well. It's dry. It looks great. It will do the trick. So if you have baby oil, definitely just use that. Again, this one was the protective oil, so just regular baby oil. This one had a little bit of extra nourishment, I think. The jojoba oil or something like that. Hawaiian Tropics, which I really was hoping would work, because then the paper would smell beautiful. Yeah, as you can see, it's quite still a bit you've got some oils and residue there, which you don't want when you're paper crafting, because then you'll kind of spread that onto other paper. But I was really hoping it would work. Maybe overnight it will dry better. My pure argan oil is the winner for me. I just love the look of the page. There's no oil residue. It has a beautiful professional look. It just looks store-bought. I really love it. And this is what it looks, the Vaseline, as you can see, a little bottle underneath it. So it's super fantastic. This is the baby oil one. Regular baby oil, which works really well. It's just got still a little bit of almost a little bit of a oily look, but the argan oil is just gorgeous. That one was the Hawaiian Tropics on top. Let's take a look here. So I want to show you the little darling underneath the papers. So underneath one of these little scrapbook pages, as you can see, if you put it's hard to tell in the light, obviously, and on camera, but it does change. I wanted to show you the floral print, but I don't think I have any left in this little book. So if you put a sticker, something underneath it, you'll be able to see it. Again, it's hard capturing it here on camera because of the lighting, but you really do see it underneath the page. I really love the way it turned out. This is such a fun little craft. So I had Scarlett actually, oiling up some paper. She had fun with it. But yeah, so it works and I love it. And this is such an affordable, fun, easy thing to do with a little bit of downtime. You let your pages dry and then you have some fun. I love the texture. That's what makes it it feels like plastic. Anyways, I hope you guys find these little tutorials fun and easy to follow along with. And until next time, everyone, bye for now.